Colby, if you mess this up, I will stab you.
Thanks, Barry.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the second movie of...
mockumentaries. even though this is more of a biopic.
Yeah, right?
Well, it's a little different than I thought it was going to be.
Well, let's not call it that from the reviews. Don't want to upset the London folks. Oh, man. I actually saw this like a long time ago. And I was like, oh. When you picked it this week. It was, I'll say that for later. But, you know, some pretty big hits and pretty big names in here, so.
Right?
I gotta say that. And one actress I'm not really a huge fan of. I don't know why. But let's go to our first section before we talk about what movie we picked. It is the movie trailer.
Yeah.
A movie about music. Lady in that red jacket, what you gonna do with the bag? A strange band. Coca-Cola lipstick, Ringo, dance all night. Will John ever reach the genius that is he? Let's find out in 2014's indie film, Frank. It's like audio movie trailer for you, you know, little clips from the movie.
You did it so well, we might get flagged.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about the 2014 movie Frank, starring Michael Fassbender, Maggie Gyllenhaal,
yep,
and that one dude from Star Wars. He's also like in a Rachel McAdams movie. I forgot his name though.
Domhnall Gleeson?
Yeah. Was he also in Harry Potter?
Scoot McNairy?
Well, I know the French guy from As Above, So Below.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I believe wasn't he also like what's it called? Gleason. Wasn't he also in Harry Potter?
He looks like he should be, but I don't.
One of the Weasleys.
When I looked, I didn't see him on. That name felt like it would have popped out.
Oh. Well, he's like one of the older Weasleys, so I was figuring maybe not. But I know he was like in a movie with Rachel McAdams called About Time, where he was like a time traveler or something.
He was in Ex Machina.
Oh yeah, he was. He was the main character in Ex Machina. He was the test subject.
Yeah.
But yeah, Colby, can you explain why you chose to pick this one?
Because I hadn't seen it and it looked strange and unusual.
That's all Colby needs. That looks weird.
That's about it. Yeah.
I mean, so we can talk about this.
Just intrigued. I was like, and then like the trailer makes it seem more rockumentary because they show a lot of his little Twitter posts, and so it looked like it was more like they were timelining it, where in here it was a little less what I thought.
Yeah. Well, before we get into little fun fact for the American audience is that the titular character Frank, the helmet or the mask that he was using is actually a kids show from London. And the character from there is Frank Sidebottom.
Yes.
And he was also like doing little like jingles, little songs on the show. I think it's some. I was watching a video. He's like he was our Mister Rogers or something like that.
Yeah, so it was very loosely, I guess, inspired by that character, not necessarily
Yeah.
based on that character.
And unfortunately, for a lot of the reviews that I saw, they're like, "What a tragedy." To the Frank Sidebottom character. But yeah, let's get into talking about this movie just because the movie's pretty short. It's like a tight hour 30, hour 28,
Yeah,
something like that. So it's not really a lot to go off of, but we do start off with John, played by Gleason.
yeah,
And yeah, he's
yeah.
walking.
John Burroughs.
Yeah, John Burroughs. And he's walking, he's walking, he's doing his regular commute from work, but he's like singing little ditties.
Right,
Can we
right.
still say that? Diddy?
Oh, all of a sudden you can't say like a ditty is a children's song.
Oh,
It's
God.
true. Oh, yeah, he's ruined everything.
Yeah. But he's British, and it feels like a lot of the songs that he's done throughout this movie, it's very pop, like Beatles. Nothing,
Yeah,
he must have felt the pressure from what's that other dude's name? Ed Sheeran.
yes.
Being British and a redhead it's rough if you can't sing, I guess. And that's where we hear a little bit of his songwriting. It's like, "Lady in the red jacket, what you gonna do with that bag?" Which I mean,
Lady in the blue jacket. Do you know the lady in the red jacket?
as somebody who used to write song lyrics as well, it's hard.
Right. You got to get your inspiration somewhere.
It that kind of works. It's funny, like I remember watching a documentary or like a biopic on the Beatles, and John Lennon was like, I don't write song lyrics, I just write poems. And Paul McCartney's like, hey, those could be lyrics.
Right. Right.
And so I think it's hard because like you can overcomplicate songwriting, and it's just not going to be a great time. And you can kind of tell by John that he's a little neurotic, and maybe he's feeling left behind. He's easily relatable. You can put his situation in anything, and you can totally get him, right?
Right. Yeah. And it's kind of like, even if he gets a catchy lyric or something, he just doesn't know where to go
Yeah.
with it next.
Yeah, it's hard to connect the dots when you're too much in your head.
Right. Right. But you got to dream, and I mean, like,
You got to dream big,
you
right?
got to follow the passion.
Exactly. And so, like, yeah, like it seems like he's kind of just going through his everyday thing. He still lives with his parents, which in this economy is fine. Uh, but he's just like he feels so uninspired, and maybe he feels like maybe if I get a muse or something, maybe if I change my environment, something will happen,
Right. Right.
right? And so one day he's walking by the beach, and he sees these policemen trying to stop this one guy from jumping into the ocean, and it's like it's the keyboardist of some band that he doesn't know who.
Right. But it's like he had seen flyers for that band, like, while he was looking at the lady in the red
Yeah.
jacket.
And like the manager of the band is like, yeah, he's trying to, end himself right now, and well, he's probably gonna go to the mental hospital after this. So now we're out a keyboardist, and offhand comment, John is like, well, I play the keyboard,
Right.
and the manager like looks like what, and he's like, oh, well, I'm just saying, like I'm not trying to suggest anything, and he goes away. But then he comes back and he's like, do you know how to play a F, G, and C? And he's like, yeah. He's like, all right, cool, man. Just meet us over here at this bar. Just go through the back and then just walk in.
Right. Be there at
He's
9.
yeah,
And he's like,
he's
oh, you want to get together and work on the music beforehand? And
he's
he's
like,
like, be there at 9.
yeah, you know what I mean. And so he's pretty hyped for it. He's like, cool, maybe this will get me out of my funk, or maybe this will rise something from inside of me that's gonna help me.
Right, because he's kind of been like this solo, coming up with the music, coming up with this trying to come up with lyrics. He plays the keyboard in his like in a little bedroom and like does little recordings and stuff. So yeah, maybe to get a band
And that'll
who's
help.
interested. Yeah.
But like one thing that someone told me, I took a couple creative writing classes before, is like, hey, sometimes you just have to imagine stuff. Imagine being in love, and then write about that.
Right.
Imagine going on an adventure and what that would be like. Sometimes you gotta like expand your circle of people, and maybe that'll help you. You know what I mean?
Right. And yeah, because you can't live everything.
Yeah.
And he even makes like a joke about that. He's like, I haven't had any tragedy. Like all the great writers have had a tragedy.
And I feel like that's like almost like a crutch for people that are like, well, I'm not great because, my parents love me.
Both my parents are alive.
And they supported everything I did. Oh. But yeah, he shows up to the bar and he's like, doesn't know where to go. So he just walks in, and then like on stage he hears like air quotes music being played. There's okay.
To me it totally seemed like they're tuning their instruments kind of thing, and then he like walks out and there's an audience.
There's a fucking audience. There's a guitarist, there's a drummer, there's a thereminist. I don't know if that's what the word is for that. And so he just gets in front of the keyboard and like he's just like playing F, G, and C. And then out of nowhere, Frank comes.
Yep.
In this paper mache head, and it has like a microphone and all that stuff. And he just starts like, it's like last week. It's almost like a catchphrase verse.
He's riffing.
He's, if you can call it that. But then there's all of a sudden there's like an electrical short on the microphone, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was on the thermo.
Or the theremin.
The theremin.
Oh man, yeah, one of those things. And they're like, they stopped playing music, the whole band. And he stopped, and then like, at first, for a while, John was sort of getting into it. He was like jamming out a little bit. He's like, well, might as well ride this wave, whatever it is.
Right. He's like, yeah, I kind of like, I freestyle, and like that seems what this band is about. So I fit.
But then he just kind of just goes back to his regular life.
Right. Yeah.
For like a couple of days. Until he gets a call from the manager, and he's like, hey, man, Frank thinks there's something genuine about you. And so, like, we're going to go up to Vento in Ireland to work on the album if you want to come out. And he's like, yeah, sure. And so...
He doesn't say work on the album. He's like, we have a big thing going this weekend.
Yeah.
Because he's thinking, oh, they want me to play keyboard for like another event.
Yeah. And so he's waiting at some stop, and he's like, hey, sorry, I didn't know where I should wait. I thought like maybe if I was waiting over there that you guys would miss me, so I came out here. And he's like, what's it called, like mouth diarrhea. And the manager's like, all right, man, whatever, man, just get in the van. But like, I totally get both sides, though. I get more of John's side just because these are people I don't know. I'm going with them to a different country,
Right.
and
And they're not from America. I think they're supposed to be in.
they're in London.
It started in Scotland and they went to
Oh, maybe
Ireland or something like that. I thought it was.
something. I don't. They don't exactly say where they are, but like they all have
But yeah,
accents.
so for the uh, people here in America, like who are bad at geography, it's
Yeah.
like they're all in Vegas and they're like, "Hey, we're heading out to L.A. for an event."
Yeah,
And say,
exactly.
"Oh, okay, yeah,
But like,
a 5 hour drive, perfect."
but Europe is so small that like there's different countries
That are different,
within
like
5 hours.
right, yep,
And so yeah, they're like they get to this cabin and everyone's like situating themselves in the main cabin. Manager's like, hey, yeah, so we're gonna be working on the album, so we're gonna be here for a while. And John's like, I told my boss I'd be back on Monday. He's like,
yeah.
nah, man, forget that.
See, how long? How long is a while?
He's like, don't worry about it, man. You're here now. You're with us now, And the band is not really receptive to John.
Right. The manager seems to like him, and Frank
Yeah,
seems to
but
like him, but the rest of the band
yeah,
very standoffish.
especially Clara, who is played by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and she's just like looks at him is like mediocre.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I guess John kind of just like settles into himself, and he's like, okay, yeah, I guess if I'm ever gonna quit my job to do something, it would be this.
Right. Yep.
And God, a good chunk of this movie takes place in this cabin, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I fell asleep a couple times.
It's you have like this Frank is this creative genius, air quotes. But it's all like, yeah, so we have to know what the sound, we have to record the sound of the river, and we have to record the sound of like the wind in the grass. So we're at one with this place before we can even start thinking about creating songs.
Music, yeah. And what's John is like, yeah, he's like, yeah, he even has us making our own instruments.
Yeah.
Okay. And meanwhile, he's documenting all of this
Right. Yeah.
because he does find like the interactions he's had with Frank, he's so like enigmatic that he's like, oh my god, Frank has to be famous. He has like this he's first of all, he's he can sing about anything, and then he has like this little gimmick with this fucking mask thing.
Right. Yeah.
It's like not Diplo. It's like Danger Mouse or Mouse.
Guar.
Yeah, Daft Punk.
Yeah.
God, people are gonna be like,
exactly.
"Wow, they don't know EDM." Oh, but yeah. And so like they start this, but then like a month passes, and a different family is there, and the manager's like, our 30 days are up. We don't have enough money for anything. And John is like, hey, my grandfather left me a nest egg.
Right.
And he's like, use it for something important. And I think this is important. And so, well, the German family is still pretty upset. Like, you guys are in our vacation home. All of
like,
us.
what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
We're supposed to be here this month. What are we gonna do?
But Frank knows German, which, if you guys have seen X-Men First Class,
Yep.
Michael Fassbender does know German. In fact, he was also in Inglourious Bastards, wasn't he?
He was. Yep.
And so Frank takes the wife outside, and they're kind of walking along like the riverbank, and all of a sudden they start dancing.
Right. And you're watching this like from the band's point of view, still in the house through
And the
the
husband.
window. Yeah.
And John is like, oh, he's having way too much fun with this guy's wife. But like, yeah, like all of a sudden they're back in their car and she's like yelling outside of the car. Is like, oh my God, thank you so much. You've inspired so much inside of me. I'm gonna go be great. And so after this is all settled, we fast forward 11 months. And
And they haven't even started recording because Frank won't let them start recording till they all are perfect.
yeah.
They can do it all in one shot.
And John is like, he's now fully beard grown. A fully grown beard has grown. But like, because he's taken all of this in, he's like saying like, this place is my Bluffs, Kansas. Which I actually don't understand. Do you get that?
I don't. I assumed it was something
Rock.
where, yeah.
Yeah, something like, I'm pretty sure someone's gonna email us. He's like, wow, you ignorant sluts. Do you not understand the genius of this person who's from Bluffs, Kansas? But he does equate it to like, this is my torture. This is my childhood abuse trauma. And I was like, well, I mean, you could leave at any time. You could stop. Okay, if it was me, honestly, he's been fronting this whole band for 11 months.
Right. Yeah.
I think by month 2, I'd be like, yeah, I'm out. I have to recoup the 3 months that I just wasted here. And the remaining money of my grandfather's nest egg that he had left to me. But he pushes on. He really does push on. And meanwhile, him and Clara have been at each other's throats this whole time.
Right. Yeah. He's gotten closer and better with everybody except for Clara, who still seems to
Despise.
I hate the idea of him. And he keeps writing his own music and trying to bring it to Frank.
Yeah.
And then Frank's like, oh, that's good. But, what if we change this and this and this? And then pretty soon it's not his music at all.
And, like, he shows it to the manager, and he's like, yeah, I write shit music, too. And he's like, what? And he shows him a song, and he's just... It's kind of like, oh, who's that one really dopey actor from the late 90s? John... He looks so sad all the time. John... He's kind of dopey. Kind of has, like, that horseshoe hair. Or, like, that little fluff on the top. He did that one parody movie where he was a teacher for inner city youth.
Oh, not sure.
He was in okay, so like the manager in that was like, he was singing like that guy from Wedding Singer when Adam Sandler was like singing that one song.
Yes. Yeah.
So you know the actor I'm talking about, right?
Oh, that's who?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He sings like that guy. Oh man. But yeah, so like, yeah, he does keep showing it to Frank. And Clara, when she shows it to Clara as well, she's like, wow, so generic. And yeah, and so he tweets about it again. He's like, I keep showing them my compositions, but they never want to use any of my stuff. Hashtag my fucking nest egg. And it's like,
and he does. He hashtags everything.
Yeah. Which, I mean, hey, like, at this point, kind of like, what are you doing music when I think you have a knack for marketing?
Right.
because he's
Yeah.
been documenting all of this on YouTube, and he's like, yeah, Frank has us doing like physical exercises because he wants us to be on tip top shape. And they're like wrestling, and he's like, yeah, we even have a safe word, chinchilla, when the fighting gets like a little too serious.
Right, because there's lots of wrestling, lots of fighting, lots of
Yeah, arguments, lots of
rough
like,
horseplay.
yeah. And so everything seems to be like they're finally starting to record something, and all of a sudden John gets, oh, what's it called, like they record a decent amount of songs, right? And it's almost
Yeah.
getting to the near the end. The manager is like kind of mastering everything. He's like their audio engineer,
Right.
and they finally finish his album. But then we get this close up of the manager, and he just looks so sad. Maybe it's because, like, he's becoming sad that, like, this is all coming to an end.
Right. Because, yeah, I mean, lots of times it's the most exciting part is the creating. And once, like, once you reach the goal, it's like, oh, what do I do now? And
But,
we have learned that he has spent some time in a psychiatric ward.
well, him and Frank.
Yeah.
That's how they became friends. But, like, throughout this whole movie, he's constantly reminding John how he's been feeling crushed under the genius of what is Frank.
Right.
He's
yeah.
like, I just want to be like him so bad, but I can't because, sometimes that's just how the dice gets rolled. And so when they finally get, they're kind of celebrating everything. And they're all like cool and all that stuff. But that night, what's it called? John gets a tweet from somebody from South by Southwest. And like, yeah, they start celebrating it. Oh, like, no, actually, no. He starts celebrating it. But the whole band is like, besides Frank, is like, no, we don't want to do that.
Right. And Frank has got like an interesting way of like everything. Like every time he brings music, every time something, Frank is like, "That's amazing. It'd probably be even better if we did this or this," and then changes it totally away from where it was.
Yeah.
And so I felt like it was the same kind of thing here. It was like, "What? This opportunity is amazing, but if we did this and we did, and then he's kind of like.
Trying to
makes it so much less where everybody else in the band is like, no, that's not what this band's about.
Yeah, well, that's what John has been trying to do, right? That's what John's trying to do, because like I get it, like, they're like a very niche band. It's like they have more of an underground experimental feel versus like being a headliner at a mainstream
right thing. But it's still like one of those things where you're like, I'm so in awe of the creativity of this lead singer that even if they're not going to be the Beatles, the world should still know about them. There's enough people out there that they should have a following.
But the most of this band is very like, no, we're obscure, like we are drowning in obscurity, and that's how we prefer it to be. But Frank seems more receptive to it. He's like, people like my music. And so he gets excited about it, and John gets Frank on board with going to South by Southwest.
Right, and John, we said John should be marketing, but he's still a little disillusioned because he's like Frank, I recorded you like singing the song, and it's got 27,000 views.
Yeah,
but 27,000 views doesn't mean 27,000 likes.
Exactly. And so
we know that from TikTok.
Yeah. And so John's like pretty excited about it because Frank's on board. He gets in a jacuzzi, and Claire gets out there, and she's like, "You're gonna fuck everything up. You are a mediocre child. You no vision." And finally John like blows up, and he's like, and he stands up fully nude and calls her a cunt.
Yo.
and she's staring at his dick, and all of a sudden they're fucking.
In the most like awkward since like The Room sex scene.
Wait, which The Room?
The really bad one, right?
Oh, hey, Mark.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, I thought you were talking about The Room, the one about with Brie Larson, where she's trapped. She's been confined by a strange man that made her the kidnapping one. I was like, I didn't watch that one. I didn't want to be sad.
I didn't watch that one.
But yeah, the morning, like that's where like Clara's like, hey, if you fuck this up, I'm gonna stab you in America.
Yeah.
And so, but unfortunately, the next morning, the manager ends it.
Right.
He ends it with the Frank mask on. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Frank!"
Yeah.
I guess he wanted to go out being Frank. I guess.
It's always kind of what he wanted to be. So yeah. So he puts the Frank mask on and hangs himself.
And so they give him a Viking funeral.
Yep.
And by the morning, his body is ashes, which I don't believe works. Because I think to cremate a body, you need like 5,000 degrees of heat.
Yeah, it seems like you would have to cook it for a long time.
Yeah, to fully cremate itself. And so they end up going to America. They're driving in the desert of Texas. And Frank is like, I have to go spread his ashes because he loves the desert. And so he starts as like this long speech, and he's like throwing the ashes, but it's like a tin of like powdered milk.
Right. And you watched him put the ashes in there.
Mm-hmm. But Maggie, what's it called? Clara like takes it because she smells it, and she's like, "This is a tin can of powdered milk." And the French guy, the French guitarist, he's like, "Oh damn, I packed the wrong tin." So they get to South by Southwest after that whole debacle, and they go to register, and like the two girls that are at the front desk are like, "Oh yeah, so awesome! Like we're gonna go eat at this really famous pancake house. If you guys want to go over there." John's like, "Oh yeah, sure," but like, you know, Frank's kind of starting to become more like anxious about things. Like, oh my God, what if they don't like us?
Right. Yeah.
And John's like, what are you talking about? We have 27,000 views on YouTube. And the two girls who are the ones that actually brought them there, Struple House, I don't know what the fuck the band's name was. They're like, oh, well, you know, maybe one or two people are going to know you guys. And John's like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, 27,000 views on YouTube doesn't really mean much. It's like $2 on AdSense.
Right.
Or
yeah,
$20.
If you had half a million, yeah, that's one thing. But
yeah, but not 27,000. And so
and now Frank gets super nervous.
Yeah, and so like, but they're like, all right, let's try to go to this one event and try to like mingle with other acts, and then hopefully we can build some connections.
Yeah.
And Frank goes, and he seems overly positive.
Right. Yeah.
But Clara's like, we have to get Frank out of here because he's not doing well. And John's so disillusioned because like finally something in his life has like panned out, right?
Right.
He was able to market them strong enough to get them the invite to South by Southwest, which is like a pretty big deal. Right?
Yeah. It's a big
like festival,
yeah,
for like movies and art and all that stuff. And so he's like, no, we'll be fine. Meanwhile, you see Frank inside of like the event kind of just pacing back and forth, which is like pretty classic indicators of
anxiety.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying?
The pacing, anxiety,
Yeah.
a sign of anxiety.
Yeah, but he's like, all right, just take him back to the room. I'll finish this event by myself, whatever, right? And so he gets back to the room. Frank's not there, and he's like, oh, what the fuck?
Right.
So,
Yeah, because there's a couple guys.
yeah.
The events to this is the pre-event, but the events tomorrow, he can't be gone.
Yeah. And so he goes looking for Frank. He's like talking to all these Texans, which I thought was really funny. He's like, hey, have you seen a guy with a big head on his fucking shoulders? And one guy's like, hey, he's over there around the corner. And he goes over there, and Claire is there trying to calm him down, breathing on his neck. You know, which yeah, like that would probably calm somebody down. But he's like, Frank holds his hand out to John, because he's like, no, Claire's being psycho, like she's holding you back from being like bigger, you know. And so he
Right.
goes with John, and Claire pulls out a knife, and she's like, I told you I would fucking stab you if you fuck this up. And he's like, oh sure, and stabs him. Holy crap. Which, by the way, like, I, you know, like, I'm pretty sure she's an American citizen because she doesn't have a British accent in this movie. But she should have been in jail a little bit longer. But we don't know how much time passed.
Oh, right, and he also might not have pressed charges.
Yeah. So, but she does get arrested. Or she gets detained by some good Samaritans. And he, like, goes to the hospital, and he comes back to Frank's room. The drummer and the guitarist are like calming him down, or like he's sleeping, and they're like, hey, we're not gonna perform without Claire. And John's like, what the hell do you mean, dude? This is our biggest like moment right now, it's gonna happen. Right. And they're like, yeah, we're not gonna do it, man, so bye. And so John has to kind of convince Frank, like, hey, we're gonna kill this, we're gonna do it, man, we're at the big stages.
He's like, acoustic, right? He's like, we're do acoustic.
Oh, he's unplugged.
Unplugged. That's big right now, so people will love it.
So when they're waiting, Frank is like, I gotta change. And he changes into some dress, and he puts makeup on the mask. And they go up there, and John is just so... He's stewing in this, like, moment.
Yeah.
He's like, people... And... You know, and this is probably where Clara's like, I know what you are. And this is kind of like what she means by that, because he's like so far removed from Frank that he doesn't see that Frank is he's gonna fucking spiral.
Break, yeah.
And so
and he's already like been like, hey, I know like we just recorded this whole, you know,
album.
But you know, maybe for on stage we should play something new, something more like user friendly.
Yeah, you know, something just more media or like mainline or mainstream.
Yeah. Mainstream.
And like when like he brought that up, Frank tried to write some like Coca-Cola lingo ringo dance all night song, and it was like, well, I don't know, this is just noise now. But yeah, Frank, he faints on stage.
Yeah.
And the crowd's like, boo, boo. And
when he faints, he falls, and head doesn't come off, but he does crack
the head. And we fast forward to like, I think they've been staying at like some rundown motel for like a week or two. And Frank,
at least,
and they're sharing one bed. And Frank was like, are we supposed to perform at South by Southwest? And he's like, what the fuck? They get into a fight, and like Frank stops him. He's like, I have a certificate.
Yeah, I can wear this hat. This helmet, I have a certificate.
But he dips. He leaves. Frank leaves. He gets hit by a car.
Yeah, because John is like, no, it's time. It's time for you to take it off. Okay, the fun's over. Take it off.
Yeah.
I can smell your head underneath there.
Yeah,
it's gross. Take it off.
But yeah, Frank leaves. He gets hit by a car, but he's able to like leave still. And then John gets hit by a car. He tries to make a report for missing persons, but he's like, His name is Frank, and that's all he knows.
What's his last name? Just Frank.
Just Frank.
What does he look like? I don't know. How old is he? Is he between 30 and 50?
Yeah, it's not gonna help. And so, like, he gets out of the hospital. He's eating some pancakes at a random diner, and one of the guys is like, "Holy fucking shit, dude! You're a chinchilla." He's like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, you're that guy in that fucking Freako band, right? And you guys are like wrestling and like chinchilla, yeah." Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh, because they're always too rough with him. Everybody else is okay. He's the one that's always saying chinchilla.
Oh, no. Like, what's it called? No, it was the French guy that was screaming chinchilla. He's the one that was wrestling Frank. Yeah. Like, the whole band was doing it. And, like, the whole, like, one of the workers is like, oh, my God, chinchilla's guy is in my restaurant. And so, yeah, he actually finds Clara and the rest of the band, and they're playing at some rundown bar. The is it the Madrid? The Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And they just completely ignore him. They're like, whatever, man. You fucked it up. And so he goes back to Twitter, and he's like, hey, trying to find out where Frank is. Can somebody help me? And he gets a whole bunch of replies. Some are like trolling him, telling him to go to some ranch where he possibly could have got shot for trespassing. Until he gets one tweet from somebody, and it sends him a Google map coordinates.
Yeah.
And he's like, holy shit, Bluff, Kansas. So he goes there, like a nice suburb, like neighborhood. He tries to talk to like this random guy, and he's like, I'm just here for the tree.
Right, because he's never seen Frank without the head, and like that guy could be Frank.
Until like the owner of the house is like, excuse me, can we help you? And we see like an elderly couple, and then behind them is Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
But he has like some head injuries, so you can tell that that's probably Frank. And the parents kind of explain it to him, like, hey, he has a disability. The dad is actually the first one to make him the mask.
Right.
And he was like, I thought it would be a good thing, but apparently, like, later we found out it's not a great thing that we did that for him, and now he's kind of just leaned on it like a crutch.
Yeah.
And he's always been musical, but I think the music has kind of stopped him from progressing.
Right, because they were like, yeah, he was actually more talented before he was wearing the mask.
Yeah. So he goes over to Frank, and he's trying to talk to Frank. He's like, I'm really glad you're still making music, and Frank's kind of responding, but it's kind of nonsense to like me.
Right, and then he's certainly. He's not looking at anybody. He doesn't want to make any kind of eye contact with anybody, his parents or anybody.
Yeah, and so I think, the mask was like, it's like his Batman thing, It's
right.
his Bruce Wayne thing. But yeah, he ends up, I don't know how he convinced Frank's parents to let him take him. But he ends up bringing him over to the Real Madrid. And Frank, like, slowly goes up to the band, and he's like saying some stuff, but he tells like Maggie Gyllenhaal, like, hold me, 5 fingers, digits, I love this wall. And then the guitarist hands him the microphone.
Right, that's the kind of real, because they've also never seen him without the mask, and that's kind of when they realize, oh, maybe this is Frank.
And so they start jamming again to like that weird experimental music that they were doing. Meanwhile, John is like, he's left, and he just walks off into the sunset. And that's the end of the movie. We end the credits with like a couple of like their songs. Yeah, I turned that off. I turned that off real quick. I don't want to.
Nice. I listened all the way to the end.
Oh,
well,
no.
I always do anyway, but.
The, what's it called? The person that described Frank Sidebottom was like, this is our Pee Wee Herman, not Mr. Rogers. All right,
yes.
Before we get into our other thoughts about this movie, let's go ahead and get to our other section, high star and low star.
There's a bunch of 10 out of 10s. 10 out of 10, reminding me why I go to the cinema. I went to go see Frank at the Rizzy Picture House in Brixton with my wife. I was not expecting much. I tend to dislike rock biopics, and the whole premise of a man in a giant paper mache head thing seemed very gimmicky. But Frank was wonderful. The comedy is effortless, the dialogue is smart but not pretentious, the performances are elegant and understood. Fassbender is great, and the head thing really works for him. One of the real pleasures of this film is its narrative depth. The story arc of the protagonist manages to be wholly natural and yet surprisingly subversive. At no point does the film simplify or talk down to the audience. And the music is good too. Go see it. Go see it while it's still in the cinema. So that must have been a long time ago movie.
And I got a 1 out of 10. Disgrace to the corpse of Frank. This is not a film about Frank Sidebottom. Quite how John Ronson, who co-wrote the screenplay and was supposedly a friend of the real Frank Sidebottom, allowed this film to be made is an insult to his memory. Frank was funny, entertaining, played Toy Town versions of famous songs, and was only slightly weird. Parts of the rehearsal sessions in the house seemed reminiscent of stories of the late Captain Beefheart, virtually imprisoning his band in California whilst dreaming up Trout Mask replica. But there another set of similarities ends abruptly. The music throughout is naive and dreadful, and this comes from someone who is interested in many forms of experimental music. If you don't know or care about the real Frank Sidebottom, you might enjoy this film. Otherwise, do avoid it at all costs. It will only make you angry.
See, and I feel like that's certainly, I had that advantage. We're here in America, and I did not know of Frank Sidebottom, so I went into this totally as a unique experience, not as they're trying to portray somebody else.
I know, but like, yeah, I can see it though, because if like, you know, someone did a similar, like if someone had made something like this about like Pee Wee Herman, then like, you know, you can totally get where they're coming from. But yeah, for us in the States, like this is totally just a unique experience. But yeah, it's still like, again, like it kind of mirrors a lot of real world stuff. Like our review said that someone did trap, you know, I can imagine people trapping people when they're making albums.
Right, yeah, almost cultish. It was like, you know, I am the leader. Mm-hmm. It was who's the one that, oh my goodness, that actor that used to be a musician that everybody hates, who's just in the new Tron movie.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
I was gonna say Andy Kaufman.
He was very cult leaderish, yeah. But you kind of like you get your group out there and they're all so looking at you, yeah. And then
he has eyes. He has those eyes like those like really buggy eyes that really are like, yeah. What are you trying to look into my soul? That's what it always really seems like, and it's like same with like, you know, but like there are a lot of musical artists that have like studios in very remote places. Like Kanye West has one, I think, in Kansas or something like that, in the middle of nowhere, and it's like a huge barn. But I'm pretty sure Kanye would let you go home if you wanted to. Or like
Diddy, on the other hand.
Yeah, Diddy. He also he took Rod Wave for like 2 years and was constantly drugging him. Right. And supposedly. I don't know. I mean, that's what Rod Wave said, but then I watch other people talk about it and they're like, he's lying. I don't know. But if you gather that many people saying the same thing, there has to be at least a good amount of truth in that.
Right.
But yeah, I was never like, you know, there's all these subgenres of different musics, like glitch hop, you know, that's where it's like a lot of just like glitchy music, and that just gives me a headache. Same with like a lot of experimental music, man. It's so outlandish, and
Right,
yeah,
like my brain has to find some kind of rhythm, and if or semblance of order, and if there's not that, it's hard for me to get into.
it's very unpleasant.
So
It's like Jaeger, you know what I mean? Jägermeister to me is unpleasant, but I have a friend that loves it, and I was like, I don't get it, man. I don't like black licorice either, so that could attribute to that. You know what I mean? But the same with this. Like, I mean, obviously we don't have any memories with Frank Sidebottom, so we don't have any of those to really go off of. Um,
right,
but like, I guess I do like. I kind of wish, which would be a hard ask about an indie film, is like, what did John's character take away from this whole experience? I don't know. What do you think?
yeah, I I definitely felt like John wanted to be a famous singer, and he didn't have, at least at the beginning, he didn't have the talent or the focus, maybe not focus, but the raw ability to do that.
Yeah,
And he met Frank, and Frank did have that raw talent, but Frank didn't want to be a
like
famous
mainline.
musician. He wanted to make some albums that he wanted to make.
Yeah,
I, it's Daniel Radcliffe,
yeah,
his movie career. Like
yeah.
they made, or he got into Harry Potter because he wanted and did it, and he got famous. And then it was like after that he was like, I just want to do the movies I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about making money and being famous, and I'm just gonna do the movies that I want to do. And that's kind of how like I feel like this was.
Exactly.
John was shooting to try to get famous, and Frank was like, nope, we're just doing this. Hey, if we make a few bucks, good. It's just icing on the cake, but this is all about our creative adventure.
Yeah, their art. I mean, like, and like he's found like-minded people with Clara and like the guitarist and drummer. They're like, we just want to make the music that we want to make. But then it's like also like, you got to be a little bit realistic, because it's like we don't have enough money to pay for this cabin. Like,
but yeah, then you just you figure it out. You throw somebody in the band, and I think that's why Clara hated him, was because it was like she saw that he was the commercial artist. He wanted to be commercially successful, not really popular by the 1% outliers.
Yeah, which I mean, like, but you can kind of understand both sides, because like, for us, like for me and you, like I'm pretty sure we'd be like, realistically thinking, we still have to make money. Like, we want to do what we like to do, but we still have to be able to sustain ourselves. So we're like kind of like in that middle area, that middle gray area. Like, hey, if we like, because for me it's like, hey, if we catch a couple listeners, that's awesome.
Right. Yeah.
And then if we get big off of this, that's awesome. But like, for us, this is just like a side thing.
Right. And it was like Clara, she even didn't really like doing the bar stuff, but it was like, we have to go play a gig every weekend at a bar just so we can get a $500 paycheck, so we can afford a hotel,
groceries,
and some groceries, till we get to the next place.
Which, yeah, man, like I gotta say, like, people always talk about being on the road, and that has to be like one of the rougher ways to do it, because I can't imagine like going to a bar, hearing that music, and then that bar making any kind of money.
Right. Yeah.
Because if I go to a bar, it's like, hey, when does that stop? All right, I'll be back then. You're not gonna get my food money, but you'll get some beer money after I come back, after all that noise. I mean, because like, what would T say if you guys went to a restaurant and that's going on there?
Yeah. Next.
Yeah, you guys won't even sit down at that restaurant. You're like, no, not tonight. We're not going to the Montana Steakhouse tonight.
So I'm a little different. I might sit through some of it, and the crazy lyrics, singing, but with a good voice. Like I'm okay with that. It's just the too many random instruments that in no way mesh. That gets annoying.
Yeah, especially the theremin. I hate how that thing sounds because there's just
Right. It's got to be a very specific need for it.
Yeah. Oh, I think at the beginning of the movie, yeah, her theremin did like blow up or something like that. Oh man, but yeah, this I gotta be honest. This movie was a rough one for me. But we're coming up.
I thought it kind of had a moral. He
Yeah.
went after his commercial dream. He found this group. He tried to make them big, and he ended up ruining them. And then he realized that's what he did, and he kind of at the very end brought it back together, and then parted ways so that
Well, like what I think for John was like I think he just got drawn in, which I think a lot of people in cults, that's what happens. They get drawn in by something, and Frank had something that he didn't, and he wanted the secret. He was like, "Well, what is the secret?" And like Frank even showed him. He's like, "Look at this little tuft of like fabric that's sticking out. That's amazing, isn't it? Your foot was just on it, but it's still standing." And then he makes a song out of it. And John's like, "Whoa, how'd you do that?"
yeah. It's like you got the artists, like the people who like carve horses' heads into wood, and you're like, that is amazing. You should sell these. You be like rich and famous. And they're like, no, I do it because I love horses, and it's something for me to do. I'll make you one, and you're like, how much would it cost? Like, I'm not going to take your money. If you want one, I'll carve you one. Just from me to you. I'm not doing this for the money. And you're like, I don't understand. Why wouldn't you do it for the money? And it's just different mindset.
I know. And unfortunately, I feel like for John, I think he could have had some mild success as just maybe like a simple songwriter, but he was just always too much in his head.
Right. The jingles, like he could, like you said, marketing, like the parts of his song that were good were short enough that they could be, in commercials.
I know. Like, did you see there's like this whole meme going on TikTok about like this girl. She did a jingle for Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. Doo doo doo.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're all like, Dr. Pepper, you got to pick this up.
They did not. I feel like they should. That Dr. Pepper got a lot of free marketing. They should have paid that lady something.
Right, like they do the cranberry guy, the guy who was like drinking the cranberry juice on the skateboard, going down like the LA Boulevard or whatever.
Yeah, I think he has like a free cranberry juice for life or something.
Right, yeah.
But we're coming up to our hour, so we want to go ahead and thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our other months down below where we have something niche for you. Things like video game month, live adaptation month, stuff in space, stuff falling from space, garbage month, ninja month, dance movie month. That was a hard month for us because we couldn't verbally explain the dance moves. But we got something down there for you. But we do our reviews in 4 different sections. We have Stream It, DVD, Blu-ray, and the Ultimate Box Collection. Kobe, where you at for this one?
I feel like I enjoyed this more than you.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure I'm going Blu-ray with it, but I would DVD this. This is, to me, it's got rewatchability. I kind of ended up having a busy weekend, so I only got to watch it once. I feel like I really need to give it another pass through.
Did you watch it with T?
I did not.
It should have been like, I'm going to bed. You guys watch the weirdest fucking movies.
Right. She totally would have been like, did Barry pick this?
Yeah, no, I'd probably just go Stream It for me. I The one thing is like I could rewatch this movie if like there was at least like one or two songs that I found enjoyable. Like in last week's movie, Popstar, you had like "Fuck Like Bin Laden."
Right, you had some earworms. Yeah,
Yeah,
this one,
you need the earworms,
fidgety
man.
digits and
Yeah.
I like the wall. It's not.
Yeah, but thank you guys for joining us. Make sure to check all of our social media links down below.
Yeah, we got our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, YouTube. Got it all.
Yep.
Follow us, like us.
They're just all ways for you
Send
to
us
guys talk to us.
suggestions. Yeah,
Exactly.
and we're trying to be more active on them because we both live busy lives.
Yeah, because, we're not paid to do this. We actually pay to do this. But thank you guys for joining us. My name is Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check who does our theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage. It's on our album Music Podcast 3, and the Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.